To something. It's August 27th, 2021. I am in Bayside Station, Bayside, New York, 11361. It is an overcast, but no rain. No, it's for the most part sunny outside. I had made a video not too long ago about a gentleman who is featured in this piece. His name on that particular piece, on the bottom displayed, was Major General Hank Taylor. In this particular piece, he's referenced as something totally different as a William Taylor. So I just wanted to point that out because I'm only going off of the spotlight, vision of what they throw at me and what I'm able to visually read. And I don't know how any of the back end works or how to even check if any of this garbage that comes through is even threaded through the needle and the cloth properly.
170 people killed in the bombing. There are 4 days left before the evacuation deadline. Flights out are ongoing, but also ongoing concern of another terror plot against that airport. Max Soviak, a Navy corpsman among the 13 U.S. service members killed. Posing with fellow soldiers, he wrote on social media, "In Afghanistan, it was kill or be killed," before the Ohio native died yesterday. His sister writing, "My beautiful, intelligent, beat to the sound of his own drum, annoying, charming baby brother was killed yesterday, helping to save lives." 12,000 more people have made it out since the bombing, including 300 Americans. Thousands more inside and outside the airport are waiting for the chance to get out. President Biden again spoke of the soldiers lost and the work they were doing.
It's a worthy mission because they continue to evacuate folks out of that region, out of the airport.
The military says 11 Marines and 1 soldier also killed, in addition to 160 plus civilians. American officials say it appears it was a lone suicide bomber who made it past a Taliban checkpoint like this, setting off a bomb near where Marines were doing additional screening of those trying to get into the airport. The Pentagon says they've again asked the Taliban for help securing the perimeter.
Multiple activities have taken place
Here,
to
General
increase the force
William
protection, specifically in communication with the Taliban of how they are executing their checkpoint operations.
ISIS-K terrorists have claimed responsibility. ISIS is an enemy of the Taliban and does not consider the Taliban extreme enough. After the collapse of the Afghan army, thousands of fighters were let out of Afghan prisons. The fear now, some will seek to attack the Americans and their Afghan allies in these final days. The Pentagon stressed they're working to counter that threat and the threat that terrorists from Afghanistan could again try to strike here as they did on 9/11.
We're not going to allow attacks on the homeland to emanate from Afghanistan again like they did 20 years ago. And we do have over-the-horizon counterterrorism capability available to us to make sure that that doesn't happen.
Thousands of Afghan refugees now arriving here in the U.S. Some will be welcomed in our area at McGuire Air Base. They will get housing and support.
When they say our area, this is local New York State news. So when they say our area in the U.S., USA being USA and UZA, UZZA being Nicole Cattaruzza in ZA Nation, is a little confused as to why all of these are being moved in with no job. I have no access to money, jobs, proper husbandry of any kind. Why is it that this is being allowed into the U.S. system as Americans? Isn't that behooving and beseeching into and leading into the wrong demographical painting for what is traditionally Native American, in not of this lineage and not of this heritage and not of this genealogy. I'm just curious because they do fit in with genealogy somewhere. It's just not New York. It's not North America. North America, like where my line is, it's supposed to be more like Canada.
But amid rush screening overseas, security officials here also working to try to make sure no terrorists get in. The FBI issued a statement saying it's helping to review information associated with applicants in order to identify potential national security and public safety concerns. We are told so far, out of the thousands of refugees, 5 Afghans have been found with past criminal.
I haven't been able to apply to the FBI for employment, but then again, these are the kind of jobs where they're supposed to come for you. There's supposed to be some commission and counsel. There's supposed to be some agreement, some utility. I haven't seen any of this work in actuality. I see them making a mixology of all, a consortium of everything, and dirtying up every single line of safety has been intermingled and interwoven and really complicated by complexion issues and arguments.
Criminal records inside the U.S. and who have been previously deported. But so far, we are told no one is known to have any ties to the Taliban or a terror group. David?
Jonathan Dees reporting in our newsroom. Jonathan, thank you. We're going to keep a close watch on the developments in Kabul, both here in this newscast and around the clock on the free NBC4 New York app. Coming up at 4:30, we'll take a closer look at how New Jersey groups are helping the Afghan refugees when they arrive here in the tri-state. And we have a major update.
They confuse this skin color with Afghanistan, Africa, Latin America, and a little lighter than this as well, and America, in this U.S. linguistic systems of you really fucked up.
Major update this afternoon in the shooting death of 14-year-old Amir Griffin in Queens. The NYPD says they've arrested a man nearly 2 years now after Griffin was shot and killed at a basketball court at the Baisley Park houses in Jamaica. 18-year-old Sean Brown is now awaiting extradition from Los Angeles. That's where he was arrested earlier this week. Investigators believe Brown pulled the trigger and struck Griffin, who was a star basketball player from the neighborhood. The shooting believed to be gang-related. Griffin was not the target. On Staten Island, chilling surveillance video showing the moment a masked gunman shot right into a busy hair salon. Now take a look. You can see customers suddenly running for cover as the bullets flew through the window. A woman and a teenage girl were hit. The shooter right now still on the run. News 4's Jessica Cunnington is live in Tompkinsville. Jessica, I understand you spoke to women who were inside.
Yeah, and David, this was their first full day back at work since those bullets flew through the glass window here, injuring 2 customers. Now, tonight...
Now, she's got an umbrella and it's raining and she's in Staten Island. I'm in the borough of Queens. I'm Queens County, which is not too far away for weather pattern. And I have clouds and sun. So when I tell you we don't share the same sky, we don't. I don't share the same weather pattern or the same sky with Staten Island. Staten Island, and it's raining and it's pouring, and you can hear it while she's giving the weather update. It might rain in my area, but if you look on a map of Staten Island and Queens County, for weather pattern, not the same sky, although they're in a close proximity on a geographical map. But in geospatial terms, they're worlds away and apart from one another. But that's part of hadron, boson, and ferium.
Tonight, that new video is terrifying, and at this hour, the NYPD does have a presence here on this block as detectives right now search for that masked gunman. Like most most days, Busso African hair braiding was full of customers on Wednesday afternoon as two people wearing all black lingered right outside.
I seen the mask and something inside told me like, oh, I feel like he's about to take a gun out and shoot.
Leslie's gut was right. A split second later, one of them fires right into the salon.
I see that you really beefed up my security with all of these new immigrants you let in. It's just amazing how, like, gun violence and shootings are up, and so are their numbers, right? In Bayside Station, Bayside, New York, 11361, a couple days ago, they had an ATV with walkie-talkies. There was two of them, and this color, wherever they come from, and they drove it. And now this is off-roading vehicles. They're not allowed on the regular street, according to the wardens in Maine and Northeast, let's say. And so they just come down, barreling down out of nowhere. They come barreling down the street on these ATVs with these walkie-talkies. They make these loud, obnoxious, like hooting and hollering. I mean, I'm surprised they didn't have a flag in tow of some other no-name nation or whatever. And then they just took off around the corner, really loud and obnoxious. And I also saw on the news earlier that they featured them somewhere else within the NYPD system of its compromised and my personal genealogy, heritage, foundation, and lineage, their security as employees of the city of New York has been put in jeopardy, including the shitbag rapist that I don't like being Jason Romer, but I have other employees of the city that are more important than him. So him being put aside, their safety has been compromised for themselves and their families by all of these new guerrilla warfare employees that are now causing strife and inequality and discrimination in a whole nother typecast that the movies and the TV don't go along with. And city council seems to be all fucking polluted because of what you're all up to in secret, quiet places until it's too fucking late. Star 1978, star 8378, it's Earth, it's solar system, it's Milky Way, it's universe, it's Nicole Cattaruzza, star 1978, star 8378, it's Bayside Station, Bayside, New York, 11361. Somewhere between Empire State, the Ottoman Empire, and Gotham. I have major issues.